And then this is what I've been talking about for a while. So Noriega also reveals that, he talked to Jay-Z during the event, the Super Bowl event, and he asked, who's in this lineup, who's being allowed to arrive in this lineup, blah, blah, blah. Jay-Z says, and this is what Nori says, this is word for word, Jay-Z says the white boy allowed for 50 to come. So basically, to break this down, you got Jay-Z running things behind the scenes. He's the one that brought this Super Bowl Dr. Dre thing. That's because he works with the NFL. That's the first thing that people hopefully know or don't know or whatever. Now they know. Then you got Dr. Dre doing the event. Now, Dr. Dre and 50 are cool. Dr. Dre showed up to 50's Hollywood Hall of Fame. They're cool. So there's no issues between them two. There might have been some rift here and there.
And he knows that M is cool, so you got to.
So Dr. Dre, who is Dr. Dre going to bring if he does a Super Bowl? Automatically Snoop Dogg and Eminem. Those two are his proteges. Those are the ones for Dr. Dre. Yeah. So he's going to bring those two. Now, like Snoop said, who's Eminem's homie? Who's the person that is 50? Yep. So rightfully so, Eminem probably was like, hey, why isn't 50 here? Let's bring 50. That Jay-Z doesn't like 50. Jay-Z doesn't like the Game either, by the way. Let's not get that twisted. Game and Jay-Z are not cool. Jay-Z, for some reason, doesn't like 50 either. And I know the reasons. There's millions of them. I'll do it. Like I said, I'm doing that video, 50 versus Jay-Z. That's going to be coming in like May. I'm going to try to get it.
I think that guy Jay-Z's always been jealous of 50.
Yeah.
Ever since he came out in 2003.
Yeah. I mean, he retired. That's the one thing that people, you retired when 50 first came. Like that's because you knew you were getting washed. Like there's nothing that you could do at that moment.
50 always stood out his chest against Jay-Z. Like, what's up, dog?
Yeah. So that shows you right there. Like right when this Super Bowl event got announced, what was the thing that I said on the podcast? I was like, I know why 50's not involved in this. Why is it Kendrick? Why is it not disrespecting Kendrick or Mary J. Blige, but 50 would have been the bigger option. Because you could argue, what is Dr. Dre's biggest record he's been a part of? It's In the Club. There's no debate in that. In the Club is the biggest song Dr. Dre has had a hand in. It's bigger than Forgot About Dre. It's bigger than every record Dr. Dre, because it constantly plays. What is right now getting 3,000 spins on radio every week? It's always In the Club. It's not Forgot About Dre. It's not none of these other records. They get spins, but not like In the Club because it's a birthday song. So... And more white people know that. More people that are not into hip-hop. If you look, when 50 performed at the Super Bowl, you had that TikTok of that old white lady, like 50, 60 years old, was reacting crazy to it because that's the only song she knows in hip-hop. She knows a couple songs, but that's the main one that every old person that's not into hip-hop knows. So to not include 50 in there, I was asking, I was like, whose idea was it? And then I thought, oh, shit, Jay-Z's working with the NFL. That's why. And then the tweets, you would see tweets of, people saying Jay-Z was the one that didn't allow 50 to come, blah, blah, blah. So what Nori revealed was that Eminem was like, listen, I'm not going to perform at the Super Bowl if 50 doesn't perform, which is some real shit.
Shout out to Eminem.
Yeah, Slim Shady.
Motherfucker.
So let's play the clip of Nori talking about that.
I miss Eminem.
I say, yo, to my nephew, I say, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand, and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make him to my nephew.
So, yeah.
I love it.
50, of course, reacted to this. So let's get into 50's comments. And 50's got a point, man. I've always said this. This is exactly what I reiterated millions of times. So 50 posted the news, of coming out that Eminem told Jay-Z he wouldn't perform at the Super Bowl if he couldn't bring 50. 50 in the caption first said, why would he have to say that? Well, he said, why would he have to say that? Should be the question. Nor your big homies running around trying to look like a gay painter. LOL.
50 crazy, bro.
I mean, he's right. Why would he have to say that? Should be
Right.
the question.
And say it like that, the white guy.
Not just, he mentions that in the next one. But on this one, why would he even, why should Eminem have to forcefully bring 50 on? It should be like Jay-Z's be like, yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah.
man. 50 is one of the big. Why should
Exactly.
Eminem have to force the situation?
With no hesitation.
So Jay-Z's always had a sort of jealousy, even towards a little bit Eminem, for getting washed on Renegade. M just killed you on your own shit. Nas even said it. You could argue who's better on that track, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, M is a bigger artist than Jay-Z, and I would argue 50 is a bigger artist than Jay-Z, in my opinion. We're not looking just at America. We're looking at the whole world. I've never seen Jay-Z perform in the slums. He's never performed in our country. Our country, 50 performed, which is like, our country isn't the biggest country in the world. It's nothing. It's like,
and he brought two countries
together.
together.
Yeah, you
that
got
were at war
Exactly.
in peace to
Yeah.
go at this concert, which was the craziest shit I ever seen.
That's what we got to talk about some other
Now,
time.
that's
but
some gangster shit.
That's what I mean is like, has Jay-Z ever done that? Jay-Z is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect him. He's longevity, billionaire, great. Everything he's done is, for the most part, been amazing. But in America, people have this twisted reality that he is the biggest, period. When that's not the case, man. There's a whole world out there, man. We just had people from Norway and UK call us yesterday.
Yeah.
People calling from, there's a whole world out there, man.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the guy that always
London.
comments Portland, Jamaica in the building, always in the comments.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. Portland,
Shout
Jamaica
out
in
to
the
Jamaica.
building. yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I mean. There's a whole world out there, man. And with Jay-Z, he's big in America, amazing. But so now this is the next 50 Cent post. And this kind of really said it. Okay, I didn't look at it this way. So 50 then posted another photo of Jay-Z with this funny hair that he's posting. He's making fun of Jay-Z's hair. He said, why did he say the white boy? Why he didn't say the biggest artist in the world, with a laughing emoji. Happy Easter. Man, enjoy the holidays. That's true. Now, he wouldn't say the biggest artist, but why do you have to call him the white boy? Like the white boy invited him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this white guy is the person that invited
Yeah.
him. Like he wasn't supposed to be here. I don't know, man.
There's a lot of people. I hate this. They hate to admit it. That it's Eminem. He's white and he's the biggest artist.
Yeah, 50 said that.
Yeah.
They have a problem with a white guy being one of the
Yeah.
best. Now, you could argue who's the best, but Eminem has sold the most records. That's just, it is what it is. Whether he's white, black, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the reality of the situation is that people need to accept is that Eminem has sold the most records. That just is what it is.
Right.
That's the situation. Now, if he was a garbage artist and sold that many records, then you could make more of the argument that it's because he's white. But he's not a garbage artist. He can rap his ass off. That's the reality. And he can write songs.
He has a lot of great records.
The thing is, he can write songs and battle rap. That's rare, period. Like I was talking about 50 in Game. 50 can write songs good, but battle rapping, he's not that good at. Game can battle rap, but write songs, he's not that good at. Some people only have one or the other. Jay-Z can rap bars great, but is he good at writing songs and hooks? Not really.
Not as
That's
Nice.
that's the point about this. Eminem has both of that. That's why he sold so many records. And yeah, being white has a little bit to do with it, but it's not the sole reason. That's what I'm trying to get at with this situation. So
Right.
Jay-Z is always, even Funk Flex, I was playing a clip here just to remind myself. Funk Flex was talking about how when Funk was on the radio on Hot 97 and 50 was dominating, Funk was like, hey, or Flex, well, I don't know why I'm calling him Funk because usually people call him Flex, but Flex was like, 50's the king of New York at the time. And Jay-Z, what do? He calls him. Let's not give him that title right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
We can't give him that title
my
right
lips.
now. Yeah, so he can't, let's not give him that title right now, he said, which is clearly jealousy at that moment. 50, Banks was doing Jay-Z's numbers. Lloyd Banks, 50's second artist, third artist, whatever you want to call it, was doing Jay-Z's first week numbers.
Shit.
That's an artist under G Unit. Imagine if Memphis Bleak or Beanie Siegel was doing 50 Cent numbers. Like, how you guys would be losing your shit. You guys would be saying Jay-Z's the greatest of all time, and this guy, But that was never the case. 50 was his artists were doing what Jay-Z was doing. 50 sold more sneakers than Jay-Z's whole catalog of album sales at the time. That's how. Yeah, I'm just
Damn.
to get into all that would be that's just my situation. And Jay-Z's never dominated a year either. We talked about that last when the 5-year anniversary. Somebody called and asked. Never dominated the year. You could argue 2009 maybe. That's about it.
No, that year was 100% his year.
I don't know. I could argue that at the end of the day. I mean, Eminem sold more that year, so it's like
Yeah, but it can't just be about sales, man. It's got to be like everything.
Anyways, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
anyways.
by the time we get into that, it's gonna be a whole an hour of like discussing back.
Yeah,
and
but I
forth.
know.
So that just proves what what I've speculated, what most people have speculated, that Jay-Z was the one that didn't have 50. That's why he was a surprise guest on there. Eminem forced the situation, and I knew because when Eminem's set was short, he didn't perform 2 songs. I knew that he gave up his set for 50 in a club.
Right.
It just made sense.
Oh, that's clearly,
Yeah, that made perfect sense. So I kind of expected this kind of to come out eventually. So yeah, that was crazy. Check out the Drink Champs, Snoop Dogg.